Become a senior dev in 12 months? Yeah, most people think that's impossible. So the conventional timeline says you need about 3 to 5 years to go from junior to senior. But I did it in 12 months. And no, I didn't have some computer science degree from Stanford, and I definitely didn't have industry connections. Every month you spend at mid-level or junior is actually costing you thousands of dollars in income. So why do most devs get stuck in this cycle? Because they don't have a system, and I'm going to show you the exact ways I used to skip the wait. Now, when I became a junior developer, I would sit there and look around and I would see how everyone else was moving up the ladder. Now, most people were hitting senior level in like 4, 5, maybe even 6 years, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a faster way. Is the traditional path really the only option? I mean, really think about it. The tech industry changes, every 2 to 3 years? And especially with AI now, that's even faster. So let me give you some context here. 6 months into my junior role, I was already doing tasks that were considered mid-level. And 12 months later, I was leading projects and mentoring other developers. So check this out. I can literally show you. These are my actual dates on my LinkedIn profile. Junior software engineer, January 2021. And then you can see here, December of 2021, senior software engineer. Was I lucky? Maybe a little. But what I realized, there's actually a system behind career accelerated growth. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today. What I'm about to share with you is the same framework I used to get promoted fast. It builds on 3 core principles that developers usually miss. And I'm not talking about coding skills either. So let's be honest, everyone only focuses on the technical skills, right? Why am I so out of breath? But that's only 30% of what gets you promoted to senior. But the other 70%, that's what we're going to be covering today. So, principle number 1, find your why. You know, most developers never stop and really ask themselves, why do you want to become a senior developer? Now, is it the money, the status, or the technical challenges? Your why is going to matter more than you think. Look, when I was grinding through all of those tough problems late at night, it wasn't some abstract career ladder that kept me going. It was my specific why. And your why will become your fuel when things get difficult. And trust me, if you're accelerating your career, things will get difficult. So before anything else, get crystal clear on your why. Principle number 2, you need to become unhealthily obsessed. This is honestly a lesson just for life and not just development. If you really, truly want to move fast and you really want it, you've got to bust your ass. Think about it. The average developer is going to put in their 8 hours and then they're just going to go home. But that gets you average results and average timelines. But when I wanted to accelerate, I made a crystal clear decision. Every single action I took was in service to that goal. Some nights that meant working after 5. Sometimes it meant I had to miss parties because I wanted to learn the code base better. But here's the key. It wasn't just random grinding. It was a strategic obsession with intent. I wasn't just working more. I was working on exactly what would move me towards being a senior developer. And that's the difference. And principle number 3, you need to own the entire software development lifecycle. But this is where most developers completely miss the opportunity. They just wait around for someone to assign them tickets. But here's the thing about senior developers. They don't just implement, they own the process. So when I decided to accelerate, I started injecting myself into every single aspect of every single feature. Now, I wasn't invited to these ideation meetings with the PMs. I asked to be there. I worked with designers and looked at the UX. I helped break down the user stories. And I didn't just code and throw it over the wall. I saw that feature all the way through testing and into production. Now, Do you see the difference? Junior developers will just complete the tasks. Senior developers own the outcomes. And when you start behaving like a senior before you have the title, trust me, management starts seeing you as one too. But let me share a specific example from my experience.
Let me be completely honest with you. Was this journey easy? No. Was there moments of doubt? Absolutely. Let me share something I don't really talk about that often. I want to talk about the cost of being unhealthily obsessed. You see, when I was pushing so hard to accelerate my career, I would constantly wonder if I was making the right choices. There were nights I'd stay up until 2 a.m. learning new patterns or refactoring code, while my friends were out having fun, or my wife would ask when I would be done. I would question myself a lot during those months. Was I being smart, or was I just being obsessive? Was I accelerating my career, or was I burning myself out? I don't have a perfect answer for you, but what I do know is those late nights and deep focus, they weren't just about learning code. They were about proving to myself what I was capable of. And here's what I realized. The difference between a healthy ambition and an unhealthy obsession is going to be your why. So as you apply these principles, I want you to check in with yourself regularly. Make sure your why is still aligned with what truly matters to you. Because becoming a senior developer is truly amazing, but not at the cost of everything else that makes life worthwhile.